So, you're trying to write a character. Maybe it's for a role-playing game, a book, a movie, whatever the reason, you somehow ended up here. Asking some form of the question, what makes a character great? Now, that is a complicated question, but after watching countless videos, reading hundreds of hours of writing theory, and a few brief stints into improv reinforced by even more time writing myself, as well as running and playing various TTRPGS, I discovered that not that easy. There is a myriad of answers. But let me save you some time. I want to unpack some of the things crammed into my brain, and let's focus on just a few of the things. The ones I found to be most impactful for improving the quality of my characters and helpful in grounding oneself in that character's mind. As a heads up, these tips don't need to be applied in any specific order. Far from it, actually. I would suggest that you listen to my little rant and then approach this from whatever angle feels right for you. Now, without any further ado, the first thing to understand is the purpose of your character. This could be a class in a game, like in Dungeons and Dragons, or to provide a story beat or point of view in a book, film, whatever it is that you're writing for. To go a little deeper, you can break down the purpose of a character into one of 4 sections: preparedness, likability, competency, or activity. If you guys want a more thorough explanation, I can do a way deeper video on these 4 traits later. But to sum it up, preparedness is the ability of a character to be prepared for what is going to happen. They might look ahead, they might always have the right tool for the job. Likability is a lot more straightforward than you would imagine. It's the ability to connect with others, to be likable, to add heart to the group or to the story. Number 3, competency. This is the ability to handle what is thrown at them and to come out ahead using just the skills at their disposal. Number 4, activity. This is the ability to affect the plot and the group. It's the driving force, what helps to keep things moving forward. When you create a character, they should excel in at least 2, maybe 3 of these things, but not all of them, or else they could come off as a chosen one or a Mary Sue. Top of that, it's just a difficult thing to pull off and to keep interesting at the same time. Especially if you're playing with other people, it's a good idea to limit yourself so other people have a chance to shine. On top of that, flaws are interesting in general. So instead, try to figure out how your character approaches their problems and find a good balance between these 4 traits. The next thing to understand is a character's wants, flaws, and needs. These are pretty straightforward. A want is what a character wants, a flaw is what they struggle with, and a need is something that they need, but they don't necessarily recognize it or are aware of it. Put together, these 3 things should help you understand who the character is, and it might even act as a bit of a moral compass for them. If they have these 3 things at the core of their character, it will be far easier to know what they would do in any given scenario, as well as helping to create continuity within that character's actions. If you go really crazy and figure out why they might have these wants, these flaws, and their needs, you can even build a pretty interesting backstory grounded on these. All of these are pretty easy to figure out and can be written to suit your purpose. But if you did the 4 traits above in a balanced fashion, where some are higher and some are lower, that could really help you figure out what their flaws are. As for needs and wants, one of my favorite exercises is asking myself, what is something they believe in and what is a lie that they tell themselves? Personally, I like to also use this as a way to explore something within myself, some sort of question. If I'm the one writing the character or playing the character, I mean, after all, I probably am, having a vested interest in what it is that I'm exploring or a question to focus on for myself, it really helps to connect you with that character. It gives you a vested interest. What a character believes should usually be tied to their wants. If they think people are good, then they probably want a world that reflects that, and vice versa. If they don't really trust people, or if they want a more honest world, then they probably don't trust people. You see how these things kind of connect? For the lie that they tell themselves, that's the need. Maybe they tell themselves that they aren't good enough, and what they secretly need is to forgive themselves or to believe in themselves. Asking these questions as to what it is that they're lying to themselves about, the need is usually the answer to that question. Well, that sums it up for this video. I'm keeping it short and sweet as usual. If you want a deep dive or a longer explanation, let me know below. I'd love to read your comments and thoughts. But until next time, I hope you have a good day. Bye bye.